Every single music artist should learn how to make their own content. Because if content is what gets your music heard, then it doesn't really make sense to rely and depend on a videographer for your success as a music artist. Well, luckily for you, in this video, I'm gonna go through step by step on how you can plan and record, edit, and post all of your content by yourself. Actually, before we even start, there are some really important things about music content specifically that you need to understand, or else nothing would ever work. The first thing to understand is that when it comes to promoting your music on social media, your music is not the focus. Let's say you sell drugs and some guy came up to you and asked for crack, and you're like, hey bro, you wanna listen to my music instead? The guy's gonna be pissed off. And on social media, people are not there to listen to music, they are there to consume content that gives them stimulation, entertainment, education, or inspiration. So when it comes to social media, you need to prioritize what people want, and that's not your music. Well, not exactly. I'll explain in point number 2. So point number 2 is that your music and your content need to be complementary. They need to work for one another. Now, this is something that nobody really talks about, but your music needs to enhance your content, and your content needs to enhance your music. When it comes to cinematic content, good music makes the visuals appear better, and vice versa with the content, making the music sound better. And even with hood trap music, your image, which is what people see through content, so the visuals, will make your music sound cooler if you look cool compared to if you look like a goofy guy who's trying to look cool. Each is supposed to complement the other, which is why I did say that content is the focus and music is not the focus, but also the fact that music is supposed to complement your content. And if you do that right, then people will watch the content, enjoy the content, and then be like, hold on, this music's pretty good, because the content enhances the music, and that will increase the chances of someone wanting to stream your song. And this is exactly why certain content ideas work for some people's music and not yours. You need to know this. Step number 1, equipment. Let's start off with the basics. That's your camera or your phone, a tripod, and a small tripod. It's important to have variations of tripods because it allows you to get every single angle, top-down angles, bottom-up angles. Pretty much the greater the range in which your camera can go up and down, the better. For both a professional camera and a phone, you have a bunch of lenses to work with. iPhones typically have a regular camera, 0.5, which is a wide angle lens, as well as a zoom lens. For my Sony FX30, I use a 7.5mm, 4mm, and my friend lent me his zoom lens, which goes from 55 to 120mm. But even for iPhones, you can buy external lenses to attach to your phone. I like to use a strong, powerful light, as well as a small fill light, because it changes color, it's small, compact, and it's easy to bring around and shoot. And that's pretty much all you need in terms of equipment. Step number 2, content ideas. Coming up with content ideas is the most stressful part for most people. I mean, look at this poor guy over here who's been trying to think of content ideas for the entire day. Especially if you need to post content daily, I can understand why you might hate making content because of this. But if you want to shortcut it, there is the viral blueprint, where you are provided with 3 content ideas every single day. I mean, let's check out this idea. You're given information such as difficulty level, materials needed, how to carry out the content idea, as well as how you can add a twist to make it your own. And additionally, most of them have reference pictures or videos to make it easy for you to follow. I think he likes this idea a lot, so let's go with this one. Bro, hold on, relax. This is one of the biggest mistakes in which you can make. It's when you find or have an idea and just jump straight into it. Because 9 times out of 10, if you just jump straight into something without actually thinking about how it works from start to finish and having everything prepared, you're gonna mess it up. So bro, go back to your seat because we still got another step before you go out to shoot. Step number 3, plan. Planning is so important to an extent. I'll get to that in a second, but it doesn't matter where you plan, whether it's on your hand, a notebook, or your phone. You just need to plan a few key things for your shoot. Your location, materials, time required, and variations. But I did make a mistake here. On this shoot, I did miss out one of these very important variables, and you'll see what that is, unfortunately, later. But by the way, last plug, the viral blueprint does come with a bunch of trackers. You got a place to store your content ideas, to-do lists, music release trackers for analytics, 2 different music release strategy planners, time expenditure tracker to make sure you're not wasting time, social media content calendars, and more. But anyways, as long as you have one place to store everything, that is extremely important too, because if your notes are all over the place, your brain will be as well. Step number 4, go. Basically, start making content. Planning is extremely important, but can be extremely detrimental because beyond a certain point, you will just be wasting time. And the reason why I say that is because when you plan too much, more than the things that I just showed here, it becomes pointless. It becomes a waste of time. Because either way, if you plan and don't plan, you have no certainty that the video is going to go completely viral. So therefore, is that additional stress over planning meticulously for hours even worth it? One thing in which you will learn by yourself is the fact that if you want to record content and you're planning how much time it's going to take for you to create a piece of content, multiply that by 4. First, I tried setting up the ladder on the grass. I tried setting up the ladder on a table, and that didn't work. I almost fell off. And then I decided to grab 2 chairs and set the ladder on top of it. But by the time I set that all up, the sun already went down, so it was no longer shining in my face, and I had to put a light there just to get the look of a sun setting on my face. However, it took literally 4 times the amount of time that I thought it was going to take. Step number 5. Editing. There's the usual stuff, such as putting captions on your screen and making them in different colors, maybe having it in 3D or having it as normal, putting shadows in the background, changing the size of your captions, choosing where to position your captions. And then there's stuff like color grading. I don't know how to do it, but it makes your content look better. I just use custom presets, as well as sometimes I use Canva's color grading stuff. It looks good to me. But in terms of editing, there's not much to it. Go watch a course on editing if you need to. As long as you understand the kind of content you need to make for people, which was step 0, you have the equipment necessary to convey your imagination into visuals, and as well as you have a basic understanding on how to plan before shoots, you're pretty much good. If you like the idea of having daily content ideas, worksheets, competitions to make you incentivized to post consistently, I give away cameras to the winners, as well as course content and reviews on all of the content that you post, then go ahead and check the link down in the bio because I have a pretty good deal and I hope to see you there. So guys, one thing I didn't talk about enough was variations. When you go to carry out a shoot and film a content idea, film as many variations as possible. And that can be using different props, filming at different camera angles, using different lenses, different ways in which you present yourself, whether you are energetic, calm, whether you're keeping your head still and moving your lips or moving everything at once. Have variations so you have options to choose from.